Hello, it's the Friday Talkie. So, XBone 180. Xbox U? I've really only got one thing to say about that. Ha ha! No. You'll know all about it by now. Microsoft have done a complete U-turn on their whole DRM, check-in 24-hour nonsense. All their restrictive bullshit. They have capitulated. The fury of the online gaming community was so... well, they couldn't ignore it. That and pre-orders were so shite compared to the PS4 that obviously someone realised we've screwed up. And they've done a complete U-turn. Good. There's not a lot else I can say about that really. Just good. I read one story that says there is a download. You need to do a download like firmware update, blah blah blah, when you first get your Xbox One. I was going to call it a 180 then. To take into account the changes that they've made, getting rid of the whole checking in for 24 hours nonsense. I don't know if that's true, because I've heard elsewhere that that's not true and the whole check-in one-time thing is just registering it and blah blah blah. I don't know, I don't care, because I'm still not going to buy one. And there is the thing. Microsoft would try and claim it as some kind of virtue, that they listen to their potential customers, that they listen to the gamers and they've given them what they want. They try and make it sound like they are a virtuous and caring company who give a crap about the gamers and the people who pay their wages. This is bollocks. Really. They tried to shaft you. They didn't get away with it. Now they're putting a lot of spin on it to try and make it look like they're not a bunch of greedy bastards. It makes no difference to me because I was never going to buy one. But to people who were... Microsoft Xbox gamers. You have people with brand loyalty. I am not unbiased. I have brand loyalty. I'm not a PlayStation fanboy. There is a lot about the PS3 that pisses me off. Stupid whopping great big updates and stuff that take forever to download. Stuff like that annoys me. But I continue to buy PlayStation stuff because I like the games they put in. I mean, Gran Turismo is the biggest reason. And another reason, Microsoft produce hardware, software that pisses me off. There is software like Windows, Word, various Office type programs that are just a complete pain in the arse. They're bloatware, they're full of bugs. They don't do what they're supposed to do in a way that I want them to do it. Microsoft have released products that have made my day harder than it could have been or should have been. Sony have never done that. So I dislike pretty much everything Microsoft. I'm not a fan of Sony as a company in themselves. I mean, they're just a company. But they've never sold anything that's made my day harder. So I continue to buy their products. They suit me. Is that fanboyism? No. Product or brand loyalty to a degree. But sometimes they sell a product that I'm not interested in, that doesn't serve my purposes. PS Vita. Haven't got one, won't get one. But anyway, there will be people who are the same with regard to Microsoft products. Xboxes. They've had Xboxes from the first one, from the Xbox One through to the Xbox One. And they will stick with it regardless. Fine. But there will be those who are sitting on the fence, who buy what they consider to be the best product at the time. And those people are the ones that Microsoft need to sway right now. And they're the ones who I think, are you going to buy into this? Are you going to believe they're sorry, that they weren't really trying to shaft you? And that they thought what they were doing for the good of the gamer. because obviously it's in your own interest to have your rights limited. Yeah, we will see. Ultimately, it doesn't matter to me. I will buy a PlayStation 4 when they come out, when I can afford it, and that's that. I won't buy a Microsoft thing because I don't buy them. Not their consoles. Old, original Xbox cost me a tenner. But, you know. Yeah, that is my thinking on that. Buy into the bullshit if you want to. Trust them if you want to. They're doing a U-turn now. Who says they won't do one later? But, you know, it's business. And businesses will try and get away with stuff. They will do what's in their own best interest. Microsoft tried something, it didn't work. Sony obviously saw that, and if they had been thinking about doing it, they got the message very quickly, this is a bad idea. Even, shock horror, EA have now come out and said their online pass thing, you know, where you got to register your game, that they were doing with, what did they do it with? Battlefield 3 and what was the other one? Resistance. They've said even though Microsoft have got rid of all this DRM crap, they're not bringing back the online pass. Quite surprised me actually, because I thought they're a bunch of greedy bastards. They're sure to bring that back. They had announced that they were doing away with it when Hell. Excuse me, pause. Yes, EA, when Microsoft announced all their DRM nonsense, EA said, yeah, they were doing away with the online pass thing. And everyone was like, yeah, well, duh, because it's going to be built into the console. So don't make like that's a big deal and you're doing us all a favour. So then I thought when Microsoft announced they were getting rid of all their DRM crap, EA would be like, actually we're going to have the online pass. But they're not. They have announced it's dead, they're not bringing it back. Give it another generation or a couple of years or something, they might do, but you know, for now, yeah, good move. So, I've lost my train of thought now. Was I going to say anything following on from that? I can't remember. It is good news. And it does mean that Sony will not completely dominate, because that's what was going to happen. The XBone was going to fail, not make a big enough impression in the market so that Sony would be completely dominating, and a lack of competition is not good. Despite the fact that, you know, I won't be buying any Microsoft stuff, it is good to have them there. Three gaming big players, manufacturers or whatever, it's not the healthiest market. I don't think it was there. I suppose it's always been three. I mean, it used to be Nintendo, Sega. Actually, it was two, wasn't it? But you had Atari, and you had Phillips, and you had the Amiga, and you know there was more variety. Now it's like, well, you got three console manufacturers and the PC. I don't know. I suppose it's enough, and you got of course the Android stuff. It's enough, but for one manufacturer to drop out or basically become irrelevant would not be good. So I'm quite happy with how it's all turned out. Kind of related, and it's something that was observed in my recent CDI thing. Look at this. That is a Phillips CDI, for those who are not completely familiar with the thing. It is a big black box. It is an entertainment system. You stick a disc in the front here, and it sits in your living room under your telly somewhere, and it is your entertainment hub. It plays music, it plays films, it plays video games with a unique controller device. You know, I was talking about something that looked a bit like a sex toy. There's your controller. just wrong, isn't it? So what does that remind us of? Kind of like an Xbox One, isn't it? Entertainment system, hub of your living room entertainment, plays games, plays videos, blah, 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 blah. It's been done. So what happened to them? Well, they didn't sell especially well because people didn't know what it was and what they were meant to do with it. And, well, also the games were kind of crap. But Phillips kind of got to realise that this isn't really doing well, this is something new and unique, and the buying public don't really get it. So they modified it and made it more like a games console. It's funny how history repeats itself. I don't know, I mean, I'm knocking on the Xbox One now just because it's fun. Do I really think it's going to fail? Do I really think people will fail to understand this new concept of an all-in-one hub? Blah. I don't know. History does repeat itself, though. So, if it fails, I suspect the reasons may turn out to be similar. It's a step too far. People don't get it, or don't want it. But sometimes all-in-one stuff does work. I've got a thing, and probably so have you, that is, it plays your music, it'll play videos. It's kind of like a computer. It's a telephone. It's an all-in-one messaging system. And you know, a few years ago, when smartphones were a new thing, I read about them and I thought, I don't want all that in one. I want my MP3 player separate from my phone. I want to watch videos on a dedicated video playing thing like a TV. I thought that's nonsense, it's ridiculous. I have all these things already, separately. Why would I want them all in one in some massively expensive thing? And now I've got one of those sitting in my pocket and I love it. It's fantastic. It does. You get accustomed to it's when manufacturers have a new idea, you kind of get resistant to it. Or you can be resistant to it because new change is scary sometimes. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Certainly Apple got it right. Apple have a knack of getting it right. Microsoft, we'll see. Sony, I think Sony have hit a good balance with the PS4 because basically it's a PS3 was on steroids really. It's more of the same. I like more of the same. There's a cat. What you doing, kids? Come here. Come here. Where are you? Yeah, no. Hey. Buggy then. Anyway, moving on. I had been saying I want to do some Dragon 32 games, and I was having trouble because my Dragon video output from the modulator anyway, the RF output, it kept skipping from black and white to colour and back again, and it was very annoying, and I thought as my TV can't tune into it, and I can tune it in on a cathode ray tube telly and it will work. She's back again. But I don't want to record it on a cathode ray tube telly because frankly the video looks bloody awful. So I've got one of these. I haven't tried it yet, but I want to give a mention to the seller, Retro Computer Shack. It's a chap called Ian, who's in Bolton. I've had the pleasure of meeting at the second replay thing. He probably won't remember, he probably won't see this video, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, he sells on eBay. I have got about 3 or 4 cables from him and assorted other computery bits, and he's really, really good. So if you're like in the UK or Europe or whatever, and you've got retro kit and you need cables or belts for your tape or floppy drives or whatever on retro kit, he is the guy to go to, because $6.99, bargain. Can't fault him. Yeah, so hopefully I will have some Dragon 32 stuff coming up. Now, Where's my mouse? Where did I put it? There it is. Ah! Okay. Video response-ish. Lawn Boys post 1975. I kind of feel predictable because almost every week I'm responding to one of his videos and it's like, haven't you got anything of your own to talk about? He just comes up with such really good topics. And this one is, can you truly be 100% yourself on your YouTube channel? It says more, I can't see what it is. Do we hold back on the internet? And it's a really interesting question, and I think I might have talked about it once before. My view, I can only speak for myself. What are you doing? I want to pick her up, but she doesn't like being picked up. Crazy cat. What you see on my videos is like a distillation of myself, and I think quite a lot of people have actually replied to this, and most have replied in much the same way. You do get some channels where the person they're playing a character, and what you see on the screen is absolutely not who they are. Angry Video Game Nerd, which is probably maybe an exaggeration of himself, I don't know. But what you see on here is a distillation of my character. It's not acting, it's not faking it. Who I am here is who I am, but editing out the boring bits, really. There might be someone who say you're pretty damn boring already, but I was going to say I edit out all the long pauses. There was a long pause there. It's easy to be enthusiastic and amusing and full of energy and interesting things to talk about. Oh, hell. Bloody cold callers. I'm waiting for a call. My car's in the garage. Forgotten what I was saying now. It is easy to be interesting and spontaneous and full of energy and interesting or funny things to talk about, and generally seem, I don't know, more than you actually are. When you're cramming it all into a limited time frame, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour, whatever. But I certainly can't be like this all day. I can't. It is easy to sit and go blah, 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 blah about things that I care about for, the length of this video. It's easy. I do have a sense of humour and it's easy to put it across, and I guess the people who watch my videos appreciate my sense of humour. A lot of people in the real world don't. No, I'm not going to say a lot of people. Some people in the real world who I know either just think it's juvenile and stupid or just plain don't get it. But that's the nature of YouTube. The people who watch on a regular basis are the people who like what the person with the channel does. So you can get, as a YouTuber, I like the responses that I get, but that doesn't necessarily mean that everyone in the real world would feel the same way. It's not like, hey, everyone thinks you're great. No, just the people who are watching on a regular basis. Maybe some of them don't either, but are interested for other reasons. Whatever. Yeah, it is... the whole thing is kind of like... the person sitting here is not a perfect representation of themselves, in the same way that the people watching are not a perfect representation of the public at large. People in the real world, your average person. You're not the average person. You're not. You are a distilled group of people with a particular interest and a particular taste in presenter, person, whatever. I don't like to think of myself as a presenter, but you know, you've got a particular taste in the kind of thing you like to watch. And that's not really, I think, what the average person is into, because if it was, I would have millions and millions and millions of viewers, and I don't. So, yeah, it kind of cuts both ways. No, you're not 100% yourself on here. I'm not, because it is distilled. But again, the viewer is not, unless it's a mass. Do you know what I mean? I can't find the words. I'll tell you what, I find it a hell of a lot harder in here doing these videos like this with these lights here. They're so bloody in your face, and it's hot. It's hot in here. I think I made my point anyway. I'm gonna shut up about that. I'm gonna turn the camera around. I have a shout out. This week's shout out is Pie Eater 163. What can I tell you about him? What does it say about him? Channel dedicated to retro and modern game reviews, starring Pie Eater 163, co-starring his Fred, the friend. Okay. And they've got a load of games consoles here. And he does stuff that I like, actually. Gameplay videos where he does talk, and I like gameplay videos where people talk, and he sits and faces the camera and talks about stuff. His reactions to E3. He's done a pickups video. This pickups video, actually, I found I've gone on about it numerous times. I don't like pickup videos, but these were pickups at a car boot sale, and he took the camera with him to the car boot sale, and that I actually found enjoyable. I don't know why, it was cool. Yep, Xbox One announcement, reactions, console review, Sega Saturn. So, Road Rash 2. A nice variety of video types. His style is, he's English, he's got a northern accent, which I like. I don't want, I'm so crap at actually identifying accents. To my ear, he sounds Geordie, which probably means he comes from Sunderland and will be really upset. But, yeah, northern English accent. I like that kind of thing, because it is so down to earth, so real. There's something real about that. The kind of person with that accent is like, no bullshit, no faking it, no pretensions or anything. He's just a normal, nice chap, guy, lad, whatever, who's into his retro gaming, and he talks about it in a down-to-earth kind of way that I find enjoyable to watch. He's got 64 subscribers. He's been going since October 2011, and yeah, and that's about all I can tell you, and it's about all you need to know, really. Pie Eater 163, check him out, see what you think. If you like what he's doing, subscribe, because he's a nice chap. He's been commenting and whatnot on my videos for quite some time now, and I've been thinking, yeah, I'm going to shout him out soon, and there you are. Go check him out. Okay, what have I got coming up then? Well, I'm unsure. I'm definitely going to do some Dragon 32 stuff, but I'm kind of, what have I got? I've got a load of CDI stuff, and I don't know if I want to do it or not. Some of it looks appalling. Some of it looks like, I don't know if I'll be able to do it on an LCD thing, because it's like shooting games now. Can I do it with the controller, or do I need to use the light gun? And if I need the light gun, then I'd have to do it on the cassette race. Blah blah blah. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm going to do some of these. I'll probably mix and match Dragon 32 and CDI and see how it goes. Yeah, other than that, I ain't got a clue. I enjoyed doing that M5, Sword M5 overview, so I'm kind of looking at the systems in the room and thinking, what haven't I done an overview of that would actually be worth doing one of? Because, I mean, some systems are so common that everyone and his dog has covered them, and I'm like, okay, what have I got that hasn't been covered by everyone and his dog? I do wonder what his dog is called sometimes. Yeah, I don't know. I enjoy doing it. I might do something, but I might not, because I might have done it already. I couldn't believe that when I'd done it. I'd done the overview, I uploaded it, and while it was uploading I realised, shit, I did it. It was almost a year to the day that I'd done it already. That was dumb. Okay, yeah, I'm waffling now pointlessly, so I'm going to shut up. Thank you for watching.